By now you should be familiar with the Mandela Catalogue story and one of the main protagonists known as Adam Murray. Adam Murray mysteriously disappears as a baby from his crib in 1992, which leads to his mother losing her life due to immense guilt and stress. A strange yet eerie image shows on their TV in the meantime of a man looking deeply at the baby Adam, as if looking inside the house from an alternate dimension which uses TV as a portal. This man becomes known as the intruder, who is one of the alternates who chooses Adam as a baby to clone him and reconfigure him as an alternate and place him back in his crib, who goes through a terrifying self-discovery of being an alternate, finding it difficult to accept the truth. The prologue of Volume 5 displays the horror of the event of 1992 and what follows after the disappearance of baby Adam. Jude Murray, father of Adam, calls authorities in distress, specifically Thatcher Davis, a hero cop of Mandela County, explaining that he's seeing an intruder looking nothing like a human being. Knowing from other videos, Thatcher Davis tells him to stay on the line while he dispatches Ruth Weaver to the scene. But when he gets back on the line, Jude is nowhere to be heard as he flees the house, leaving his terrified wife, Lynn, behind as their child, Adam, disappears.
911, what's the emergency? Please, you gotta help me. There's someone in my house. I don't know what to do. He's not taking anything. He's just standing there. I have never seen anyone in my life that looks anything like him.
The scene changes to a report of an investigation carried out by the secretive United States Department of Temporal Phenomena, or simply known as USDTP. It's the beginning of the timeline where people learn about the existence of the entities known as the alternates. To learn more about them, this organization stations 28 agents on the border of Mandela County, known to have had many incidents involving alternates. Being stationed on Yonder County, which neighbors Mandela County, the agents capture images of an unregistered vehicle, being a Ford Taurus, crossing Mandela-Yonder County border several times in 11 days. One agent by the name of Jay Booker collects several samples from someone known as Nicholas Beringer, which happens to be in the location of interest. These events happening in April of 1992, Agent Booker manages to capture several photos of anomalies, or better known as alternates. Agent Booker notes that these entities were not aggressive, but simply observant, as if planning or waiting for something. Highway 368 between exits 81-82. There's a small patch of empty space in the cornfield heading westbound. Park your car in the nearby ditch and leave your keys in the glove box. Take any other valuable items with you. The empty space in the cornfield is the beginning of a path that eventually leads you to a large open plain. You will see a structure in the center of this plain. This is your safe house that you must remain within until you are relocated. The following clips show Jude Murray relocating to a secret safe house, finding a note that the back door is open, going into an empty cabin, waiting for further instructions.
Jude?
Hey.
You made it safely?
Yeah.
Got someone coming out to pick you up tomorrow morning. You'll be there at 4:30 sharp in the silver Ford Taurus. This is your last chance to tell me you don't want this. There's no turning back once you step into that car.
After receiving a call from what seems to be an agent of USDTP, Jude is instructed to move to a different house, a life that he cannot back away from anymore, to which he seems adamant. Jude, alone in the safe house, displays how he suffers from hallucinations and visions, which he takes medication for, which could be a hint to how he sees alternates. The night comes and Jude, instead of going to the car to be picked up, chooses to stay in the safe house, which leads to a phone call, at first being accommodating and understanding, shifting to aggressive and hostile when Jude tells them that he doesn't want to go anymore, leading to the caller calling Jude as a coward and a deadbeat on how an entire community relied on him. Maybe it's the guilt of abandoning his family that made him choose this.
I couldn't. Huh? Could you speak up a little?
I'm not in the car.
Do you have any idea how many hours he drove to get you? What about how long it took me to get here? An entire community of the kindest people I know were ready to welcome you. They were so excited to meet you, Jude. Now I have to send them all home, disappointed. But you know that feeling all too well, don't you? Filthy deadbeat. You can't escape this. You know what you did. Stop acting like it didn't happen, Jude. Do what you need to do. Do the world a favor.
This creates some sort of a bizarre scene to who these people actually are and why an entire community relied on Jude. It sure seems strange and fishy, as if having alternates involved somehow trying to use Jude as a pawn. Shortly after getting knocks on the door, it appears to be Thatcher Davis on the other side, telling Jude in a deadpan tone that he is here to do routine checkups around town. Thatcher sounds bizarre and distorted, as if being an alternate impersonating him, with Jude feeling strange and lying to him that he is simply house-sitting.
Hi, Lieutenant Davis, MCPD. We're just doing routine checkups around town. It's a requirement from the state. Do I know you from somewhere?
I'm house-sitting, and, yeah, I'm aware of it, but all good here.
I hope you and your family have a nice day.
Thanks, officer.
As he shuts the door and goes to sleep on the small, thin mattress provided as the only furnishing of the house, Jude struggles to differentiate between reality and dream, seeing an alternate telling him that it was supposed to be him. And seemingly not his wife, Lynn, the one who ended her life, meaning the alternate wanted him to die. The TV follows suit and displays the same message. Jude suddenly wakes up, being tormented by eerie and unsettling imagery and sights, with the live feed of the house being shown on his old TV, as if trying to show him that he is being watched. Looking outside the window, he hears the cries of a baby in a basket crib, which startles him, running shivers down his spine as if being a reformed and reanimated version of his child, Adam, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances. As Jude, struggling to differentiate between reality and fiction, starts feeling uneasy, not knowing if what he's seeing is delusion or not, he goes on to explore the house when he sees a figure in the shadow, poorly resembling a human, slowly approaching him, which triggers a fight-or-flight system in Jude, who runs into the upstairs closet, shouting from the top of his lungs that he has nothing left to live for, as this entity has already taken his wife and child, who is ready to die.
It's you! It's you! What do you want from me? You've taken everything from me! You've taken my wife! You've taken my child! What do you want to kill me? Kill me! I've got nothing!
Of course, Jude is petrified here, and he possibly doesn't want to die, but his fight-or-flight system is triggered, making him shout as hard as he can as a defense mechanism, yet coming to terms, if he dies here, that it's the worst thing that could happen, as the mind has a way of always over-exaggerating matters to the point of uncertainty, making things a lot scarier. Jude wants to come to terms with his end, that nothing worse would happen, so he prepares himself to feel less fear, which doesn't seem to be working very well. Eventually, the alternate chases Jude to upstairs, who succumbs to his fear, scrambling himself into a ball on the mattress, begging and pleading with the alternate to let him go. This unfortunately doesn't go as planned, as the alternate inches closer and closer to him, showing him horrifying visions which feel more real than real life, with the video ending with Jude begging for help as he's losing his mind. According to previous videos on how alternates use a mental warfare on humans who end up dying on the mass after encountering them, it's very likely Jude ended his life by the alternate going into his mind and driving him into insanity. His fate still remains unclear, but that could be the most likely end for Jude, who was the one supposed to die rather than his wife. The one metaphorically portrayed as Judas in the biblical stories. But in here, Jude betrays his family by running away from his own home, abandoning his wife Lynn and his child son Adam when the intruder is seen entering the house. Jude calls for Thatcher Davis and Mandela County Police Department, but can't face the fear, running away to save his own life, leaving his wife to her own fate, who ends up dying as she can't bear to witness her son vanished. Therefore, the person who knocked on his door pretending to be Thatcher Davis was in fact an alternate, who most likely wanted to taunt him for being a coward leaving his own family, as he specifically mentions his family, his wife and child, hoping that they are safe.
I hope you and your family have a nice day.
Just before he leaves Jude to his own device in the temporary accommodation. The alternate witch corners Jude upstairs on the mattress, who succumbs to the fear and collapses in himself, is known as N in the Think principle. Know your enemy, being the third type of alternate, the Flood impersonator, who the victims are told to run and hide from in the presence of, which we can see in here is not much use. These entities transmit MAD, M-A-D, to their victims, which has a mortality rate of 97%, with the rest 3% having long-lasting symptoms of struggling to live. MAD stands for Metaphysical Awareness Disorder, which simply drives its victims to madness, who end up dying one way or another. Some symptoms include delusion and paranoia, on top of desire of death. In here, Jude seems to be a victim of MAD, which would lead to him succumb to the fear, paranoia, and delusion, who also had altered dreams, leading to his subsequent death.
It was supposed to be you.
That's it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, make sure to stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star, and I will see you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.
You! It's